woman, Maxine Waters. I have to humbly and respectfully first, just acknowledge and say thank you for doing this. I'm Tuma. I'm the director of Black Music and Culture at YouTube. The more important qualification is I'm a friend of your grandson, Mikhail.
That's what I heard.
And I even did a little bit of intel. I picked his brain on your musical taste, on your memories, your relationships, your accomplishments in music, which I already knew, by the way. I knew the accomplishments in music, etc. So I cheated a little bit and everything. So I want to say thank you again for this. But first is please tell us about some of your earliest music favorites, your earliest music memories. Something you loved, and I'll tell you something he told me.
Oh my goodness, I don't know what he's told you, but let me just say thank you for inviting me. I'm very pleased to be with you. This is known, I'm told, as African American Music Appreciation Month. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Or it's called Black Music Month, like in the streets.
Black Music Month.
Yeah.
That's fabulous. I'm so pleased that this month is dedicated to Black music because of all of the contributions that we have made to music. Whatever genre that you look at, we are leaders in that. Whether you're talking about jazz or blues, pop, rock, you name it, gospel, we have excelled in all of those genres. And so I'm very pleased that this kind of recognition is being given to that. I love music, not only as a listener, but someone who even thought someday I would sing, but I did not. But there's a woman with the same name.
Yes.
They think that's me. It's not me. I can't carry a tune, but this woman is great. She's done a lot of background singing, and she's also been in the studio. She's recorded, but that's another Maxine Waters.
Yeah. No, when I Googled Maxine Waters music, and then she came up, and I thought I discovered a gem. I was like, wait, how come no one's ever uncovered this? She did like backup for Neil Diamond.
That's right.
Yeah. And then her sister was also. I was like, wow, I didn't know. And then when I clicked on the image, I was like, this is her.
No, but she's a friend. She's a friend.
She's a friend. Oh, okay, that's cool. I've never met somebody with my name. That's kind of cool and everything. Well, now Black music is more popular than ever, topping the charts, etc. You just talked about the recognition. Why do you think that hasn't been acknowledged as much as it should?
Well, it's all about money. And it's all about who gets to get the money. And so we know, even particularly the most recent and obvious time was with hip hop. And remember when hip hop was not accepted? These young people, had to, for rapping, they had to go into their garages and they had to go on the street and, sell their records, out of the car and all of that. And it took them all of this time, so many years to get it on. But it was so exciting and so accepted by, young people that it ended up just dominating the charts.
Oh, no, my research, I did research. And you've been in LA since 1961, right?
Yes.
60 years. That's 60 years. And what happens is LA, you were a big part of even the hip hop that came out of LA that was not completely understood by the rest of the country or by the government or the chronicling some of the like NWA talking about police brutality or Tupac. Oh, I saw you like Tupac. I saw it in the Breakfast Club interview. You like Tupac. And you knew Tupac. Actually,
yes, I did.
Mikhail told me you knew Tupac, that he met Tupac back in the day even, Yes.
Yeah, no, well, to tell you the truth, when these young people came up with the music and they were so creative and so honest and, they were tagged as being gangster rappers, you know what I mean? They talked about gangster rap, and that scared a lot of people. And a lot of Black people moved away from it because they could not accept that they were using, the kind of language that they were using, saying the kind of things that they were saying. But underneath all of that, many of them were identifying the discrimination and the problems that particularly young people were being confronted with by police on the street. And they watched their moms and their dads unable to get loans. And, many of them will tell you stories about moving from house to house, as they got evicted and on and on and on. They started to sing about this and to talk about this. And I heard this. And so what I did was I tried to convince other elected officials to, give them a chance, and if you don't like it, don't listen to it, but don't do anything to try and censor them, because I don't believe in censorship. I believe, first of all, in freedom of speech, and I thought they had something to say that was very important. And so when there were some attempts by leading folks in our country, one was a former Secretary of State in, Pennsylvania.
Get out of here.
C.D. Lewis Tucker.
I remember. Yeah. There was even like a lawsuit. There was a lawsuit afterwards. Yeah, I remember C.D. Lewis Tucker. Oh, wow. I remember. Oh, yeah. Continue. Oh, so yeah, that was serious. That was a serious fight, too.
It was a serious fight, and I had known her. We had worked in women's groups and projects together, but I partnered with her on this issue. And I went before the Senate to talk about what was happening with rap and what was happening with hip hop, and that I was opposed to censorship. And what I remember doing, and I don't remember all of the words, but I remember talking about Tupac at that time. And I had been absolutely so impressed with him and so shaken up by him when he talked about his mom on that album that he did, that record that he did. He talked about his mom was a dope fiend.
Your mama.
Yeah, but she was his African queen. And I told that story. But I knew that it would evolve. And I knew that it was going to be a staple in the music world. And so I was right, because as I looked at Queen Latifah and Mary J. Blige and where they started and what they were doing and how they have become producers and directors and business people and still have had some of the greatest music out there. And I was right about that. The jobs that have been created, 100%. Opportunities that have been opened up. So yeah, I was involved in that. I love music, period. I was raised as a young person on jazz.
St. Louis jazz.
In our community, young people there was a shine parlor with a jukebox in it, and they played jazz. And I love jazz, and I love, not only the musicians, I love the singers. I love Sarah Vaughan is my favorite.
And I heard you knew Nina Simone, that you personally were friends with her.
I knew her, and I love her, and she was so creative, and she was a genius, really. She was a genius with problems. When she did To Be Young, Gifted and Black, or Mississippi Goddamn, this was a genius woman. But she called me out of the clear blue sky, and she said, I want you to come see about me.
Wow.
And so I got on the plane, and, I was going back to LA, and I got her, and I took her to, a doctor who had been working with her to help get her stabilized. And that night, we went to where they was going to put her up. And there was a piano there.
Wow.
She was a fabulous pianist. She was she was trained.
Wow.
And so we went, and the place that they sent us was one of these transition type homes that I took her to. They had a piano there, and she played, and we talked, or what have you. But she didn't stay. She left because she wanted to get to Barack.
Oh, you're talking about Ross Baraka? Amiri Baraka.
Yeah, Ross is the son.
Yeah. Ross is the son, yeah. That's one of my dad's favorite poets. Amiri Baraka is one of my dad's favorite poets.
Well, she knew him.
I took a picture of my dad with Amiri Baraka. Yeah.
Yes. So she left, and I didn't see her. I got another call. This was sometime later where, the police chief of Los Angeles was calling me. She was on the street up on Sunset and was acting out a bit. And he called to ask me about it. I told him who her doctor was, in Los Angeles, and I never got to see her again. Yeah.
One last thing is we're going to create a playlist of some of your recommendations right? With some of your CBC colleagues. What song or songs do you want on that playlist?
My first, Servan is my most favorite singer of all time.
Wow. Wow.
And Bring in the Clowns, they've got to hear her do this. And if they go on YouTube, they can find Servan, and they can find her doing Bring on the Clowns at many different times. And she did lots of songs, Over the Rainbow, what have you. But that's kind of my favorite.
Oh, we'll make that happen. We're going to put that on the playlist.
Okay, something new, something very new, tragic.
What do you want? Something new? What's new? That's interesting. This is like breaking news.
Jasmine Sullivan.
Oh, Jasmine. Oh, she's great.
Yeah.
She has like a voice. Yeah, no, Jasmine Sullivan. It should break your windows, bust your windows. That's what she says. Bust your windows.
But I'm good friends with the wife of Barry White, Glodine White, and she was part of Love Unlimited, which was a fabulous women's group, and she did backup for him, but she also, recorded. And so Barry White is one of my favorite love song singers. I love him an awful lot. I think Whitney Houston had one of the greatest voices of all times. I think that and then of all of the rappers, and I think that Dr. Dre and Jay-Z are great, but I think Tupac was the greatest of all.
Of all time?
Of all times.
I mean, of all, you say, I have to, where's oh, here he is, right here.
There he is.
I got a coaster right here. So, that's a whole nother episode. A whole other debate, but I respect that, and I thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for the culture. Thank you for everything you've done for America. Thank you for everything you've done for industry. I can even name you a particular. I've seen you at a concert before. I saw you at Hollywood Highland in LA.
Yes.
You introduced it was like outdoor concentrate songs performed, et cetera, et cetera. So
that's right.
So just want to say the legislation, everything. Just want to thank you and respect. You're a legend and everything.
Thank you for carrying out the mission that you're doing, making sure that the history and the different genres are loved and appreciated. Because when I think about it, we're in every one of them. And, at the time when, rock was real big, who was better than Jimi Hendrix? Nobody. Okay?
Yeah, nobody.
All of them, all of the genres.
Nobody. No, thank you. No, love. Thank you. And respect also. I have to make sure. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, goodbye now.
Okay, bye-bye.